Good evening, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the NGS headline because it just ended at the time of this recording. I'm actually very surprised by the NGS headline. I give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10, mainly because, yeah, they surprised me with the gearing system. But before I get ahead of myself, I do want to talk about the new content first, and that is, of course, the Masquerade, as well as the new UQ, and there is so much stuff to go over that we're just gonna rapid fire and blast through everything really quickly. So the very first thing I want to cover is a lot of the content is front loaded this time. Usually they try to like stall it out with the urgent quests and, you know, with the new Dark Falls, or like, oh yeah, it's in February, but like in the end of February, but not this time. Everything kicks in on February 5th, which is actually really awesome. So as you can see here, there is going to be the new urgent quest and the stars fell. This is the Dark Falls Vael urgent quest, and you are going to want to spam this as many times as you can, simply because in this urgent quest, there is going to be a guaranteed drop for the material needed to upgrade your Trisalia weapon into the new 12-star rarity weapon. Yes, you heard that correct. We are going to be able to upgrade our 11-star rarity Trisalia weapons into the new 12-star rarity Acrosalio series weapons, which is the new 12-star weapons. And what's even crazier is in the NGS headline, they said already in the developer letter that the Acrosalio weapons are better than the 12-star rarity weapons. So if you're watching this early, like as this video came out, or even better during my live stream right now, sell your 12-star rarity weapon if you're planning to make this weapon, because this weapon's just going to be better overall. Now, there is a trade-off. According to the developers, the Acrosalio weapons is more of a solo player weapon, a more selfish weapon, where it doesn't buff your teammates in any form, versus the 12-star rarity weapon does buff your teammates. But I'm gonna be very honest and very frank with you guys. Nobody cares about those buffs, you know? Not a lot of people play this game for party play. Most of the endgame players which are playing this game are doing mainly solo content or speedrunning or trying to solo urgent quests and solo bosses and stuff like that. So nobody really cares that much about the 12-star weapon potential. So basically, what I'm trying to say here is just make the Acrosalio weapons the moment you can. And in order to do this, all you need to do is farm that new UQ like crazy. So whenever that comes up, you want to farm it. But it doesn't end there, because they've added a new scratch. So if you guys saw the roadmap yesterday, I explained that, hey, there's this new scratch system coming in. And they explained it in the NGS headline, where we are getting the Big Bang Scratch. So, you know, the name is pretty, you know, bombastic, but nevertheless, there are two different tickets. There is a gold ticket and there is a silver ticket. The silver ticket is a permanent feature where you're going to be able to farm. They're kind of like treasure scratch tickets. However, they give you, like, you know, decent items. They're going to give you an augment transfer pass vouchers, as well as some star gems, as well as some alpha reactors, maybe some beta reactors, somewhere along those lines, you know, like just normal stuff. However, the Big Bang Scratch Ticket Gold, this is the big one. This is the one that you actually want to aim for, because you can scratch up to 10 million Meseta as a prize. It's kind of ridiculous that you can just get 10 million Meseta from this scratch. I don't know what Sega's thinking. Honestly, I think this is going to cause some inflation issues. So I am expecting inflation to happen, because in order to earn these tickets, you gain one of these tickets every time you run the new UQ, or every time you defeat Dark Falls Vael. And every time you get one of these tickets, you have a chance of obtaining 200 star gems, a full-on End Augment Transfer Pass, not a voucher, a completed End Augment Transfer Pass, and up to 10 million End Meseta, because they're introducing these new Gamma reactors, which are actually worth 1 million Meseta each. So, yeah, this is crazy. This is actually crazy that they're introducing the Big Bang Scratch over here, and the prizes are very highly desirable. However, other than the new weapons and those new scratches and the new UQ, there is more, because the Crimson Realm is also coming back, also on February 5th. And the strange thing is, Crimson Realm is only lasting for 1 week. So I'm guessing the thought process here was, hey, you're gonna play NGS, all day. You're not going to play anything else. You're going to be farming in Crimson Realm when there's no UQ, and then when the UQ comes up, you run the UQ. However, I know that's not for everyone, right? So what I recommend for the average player to do is there is a bot on Discord. I think my Discord has it already, where it will tell you when an urgent quest is coming up. There's going to be a notification. And so literally just log into the game whenever the UQ comes up, you run the UQ, and then once you're done with the UQ, you can log off and wait until the next UQ. But basically, you want to run the UQ whenever it comes up. You want to fight Falz Vael whenever it's available, because that is the only place you can get the materials in order to upgrade your Trisalio weapon into your Acrosalio weapon. Now, later down the line, we are going to get triggers for that UQ, so you're going to be able to run it. And even better, you get these triggers by doing some limited time tasks. So, you know, everyone's going to be able to obtain these triggers through whether they're free to play or premium, which is really, really nice. And so I do encourage people to work together here with the triggers, especially to try to make sure that everyone gets enough runs to make their Acrosalio weapons, because it's a very, very powerful weapon. Now, does this mean that you should just totally sleep on Crimson Realm? No, I still think Crimson Realm is worth running simply because, well, there are a lot of bosses, mainly the Driveris, which only spawns during Crimson Realm. So it's probably not a bad idea to farm a crap ton of it while it's available for 1 week, and then sit on all those rare capsules and wait, like, you know, a couple weeks, a month or two, and then those prices will go back up, and then you can sell it for a big hefty profit. That's probably the way to go. However, if you don't care about that stuff, it's not a big deal. Now, the next big announcement is actually the various improvement and new features they've added into the game, and this actually blew my mind. They've added an extra 1,000 character storage slots. So for every character, by default, you get 1,000 slots right now in the current version of the game. And this is per character. So free to play, you get 3 character slots. So you can make 3 characters. So they're increasing it from 1,000 slots to 2,000 slots. So essentially, you're going from 3,000 character storage up to 6,000 character storage. So if you have a lot of weapon camos, a lot of random stuff that you just want to hoard, well, I've got good news for you. We've got a lot of extra character storage, which is just kicking in again on February 5th and is free for everyone. You don't need to be premium to get character storage. Character storage is just available to everyone. However, if you are premium and you buy extra character slots, you do get more storage space. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Another thing is, of course, the personal shop. You can now sell more items. However, again, you know, in order to sell items, you do need to use your shop pass, or you need to be a premium member. So that is something that you need to keep in mind. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the Index collaboration. And there's going to be a lot of really high value items in this collaboration. If you thought free rent was absolutely insane with those prices, I can almost guarantee you there are going to be outfits, there are going to be weapon camos, there are going to be stamps and stuff like that in the Index collaboration that will go higher, that or will go for more Masquerader than the current free rent scratch. I guarantee you that. And so if you want to spend a little bit of money, you probably would want to scratch on this. I don't think it's a bad investment to scratch on Index, but nevertheless, there's a lot of really high value items and a lot of good stuff in this scratch. Now, the next thing is going to be a bunch of LTQs. Yes, there is the new limited time drill Ruine Grand Battle series. This is a 12-player LTQ. However, you're going to be split into 3 different groups. So 3 groups of 4, and there's 3 different bosses that you have to kill. I don't know if you have to kill them simultaneously. You probably do. And then after you kill all those bosses, then you fight a big bad boss afterwards. And the reason why you want to run this LTQ is because it is tied to those limited time tasks, which gives you the Falz Vael triggers. So remember, you want to run Falz Vael as many times as you can whenever the UQ pops up. Well, with the trigger, you can activate it whenever you want. You can run that whenever you want. And so you are going to want to spam the living daylights out of this limited time quest to complete all of those limited time tasks so that you can get all of those triggers. That way you can run the UQ. So that's kind of the gameplay loop, I guess, except you're gonna eventually finish all of the limited time tasks. We do have a new mission pass season 41, a bunch of freebies. There is this ice staff, that new weapon camo that does look pretty badass. All right, moving on to the week after that. So this is February 11th. We are getting Masquerade depth 7 to 8. So that's floor 70 to 80. So this is actually pretty crazy because by the end of February, we will actually get all of the floors of Masquerade. We'll get all 100 floors, which is pretty nice. You know, I wasn't really expecting it to push it out that quickly. However, the developers have clearly stated that the first 40 floors were intentionally made incredibly easy so that everyone could complete it. And they did promise that, hey, in the later floors, things are going to get a lot more harder and a lot more hectic to live up to the extra dual name or the title. So when we do get to depth 10 or, you know, basically level 100, things are going to be a little bit hectic. Now, they did show a little bit of B-roll, but I don't know if it was floor 100 or not. But it did look pretty crazy as Masquerade was summoning a lot of clones. It was summoning all these swords like this Gilgamesh attack, which looked pretty cool. So I am pretty interested to see that. Now, other than that, you know, we are getting the trigger quest. So this comes in a week after the UQs become available, is actually when we will get the trigger quest version of And the Stars Fell. So this is the Dark Falz Vael UQ. Now moving on to February 19th. So this is 2 weeks after the initial release of the UQ. We actually get an upgrade to our armors as well. So this is where Sega really surprised me. I was thinking, oh, we're just gonna get a new weapon and Dark Falz Vael and that's gonna be it. But no, they're actually upgrading the Lucille Exploration. They're just updating it. It's not really that big of a deal. They're just adding some new player ability buffs, which allow more follow-up attacks whenever you use a PA or technique, which is pretty awesome. They're increasing the level of the enemies because remember, our level cap is actually being boosted to level 100. This also kicks in on February 5th, by the way. And the Hunter rework is also February 5th. I forgot to mention that. But the main thing about Lucille Exploration, or the main reason why you're going to want to run it, is because it drops the new materials needed to upgrade your 10-star rarity Tristasis armors into the 11-star rarity Acrostasis armors. So yes, you're going to be able to upgrade your 10-star rarity armors to 11-star rarity armors. And yes, it increases your potency. It increases your potency to 6.5% by default. So no augments on it, just the armor itself is giving you 6.5% potency, and it's on top of that, it's giving you extra HP, extra PP, and damage resistance. So it is a no-brainer. Everyone needs to upgrade to this because it's just gonna make your life easier. It's gonna increase all of your stats overall, and is freaking amazing. However, all of these upgrades was actually a super elaborate setup by Sega to make you spend money on this new extra AC support select, because they're introducing a new augment called the Lars class augment. But the crazy thing about this is it does not replace your An-Addy capsules. You can use your An-Addy capsules, let's say you have some parfaits or whatever, you can use that with the Lars class augments as well. So you can have both of them on simultaneously on any piece of armor, any piece of weapon. So free-to-play players, you guys are boned. If you're fully free to play, hopefully you're gonna be willing to farm Dex base for like 100 million Meseta or something so that you can afford these. But yeah, this is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. And maybe in a couple months we're gonna have 8 augment slots. Then yeah, I have nothing to say here. I'm gonna get this because I'm a filthy min-maxer and I want to see big numbers. But for the average player, this is a money sink. This is going to drain your wallets, and this is also going to drain all of your Meseta if you don't want to spend real money. Now, next up on February 25th, we also get the extra dual quest Fictitious Beam floor 100 or depth 10, which is actually really awesome because this is the end. You know, this is the final stage of Masquerade. And when you defeat him, you get a cool vital gauge and you get a cool awakened weapon camo. So that's really, really awesome. They did say that on the last stage on floor 100, they did add a special twist. And so you do need to be a little bit careful, but we'll be the judge of that. We'll see how crazy it is. In before, I can't even beat it. How embarrassing would that be? Here, I'm talking about like, it's never gonna be too difficult, and then like I get my ass kicked by it. How funny would that be? Now, other than that, in the operation report over here, they did have the developer interview letter thingamajiggy. So they did say that Dark Falz Vael is coming in. There's going to be a mini episode explaining why the hell Dark Falz Vael is there, why we're fighting them. They talked about the weapon upgrades. So this is the final weapon upgrade. The Acrosalia weapons is the final upgrade for our Trisalia weapons, or the Salio series. All right, so they did state that this is the final upgrade, so I do not think there's going to be another upgrade from our Acrosalia weapons to something else. I think that's probably it, unless they do like an old school base PSO2 thing where it's like you need to hold on to this weapon, you got to make another weapon, and then you combine the two weapons together. Maybe that might happen, but nevertheless, in the operation report, they just said that, hey, this is the final form for this weapon series. On this slide as well, they also did state that the Acrosalia weapons are better than the 12-star rarity weapons, or the 12 series, in case you missed that earlier in the video. So, yeah, get rid of those 12-star rarity weapons or those 12 series and rock this instead. Now, other than that, they are making some changes with the premium login bonus. So if you are a premium member, this matters to you. Basically, they're getting rid of all the useless stuff like the 10 grinders, and they're just giving you beta reactor star gems as well as big bang stretch ticket silvers. It's great. I'm just kind of scared that this is just going to cause even more inflation, which it probably will. But I don't think this is going to be the main culprit. The main culprit is definitely going to be the big bang scratch if people go absolutely ballistic farming these tickets. Because, yeah, 10 million Masquerader, imagine. That's so much money. Now, other than that, February is going to be Ultra PSO2 month. So Ultra PSO is basically double of regular PSO2 day or PSO2 month or whatever. So we are getting a lot of freebies. Basically, just log in and, you know, reap all the rewards. As you can see here, from February 1st till February 11th, you're actually getting a ton of goodies, especially if you're premium. However, if you're free to play, it's still quite a bit. You're still getting 100 star gems, and you're still getting 10 days of material storage, color change passes, 200% RDR, and all that stuff. But, you know, the main thing is going to be the UQ. You want to defeat Dark Falz Vael as many times as possible, because every time you do get a big bang scratch ticket. Now, something that I will be testing out when we do get the triggers is, do we get a big bang scratch ticket upon completion for the triggers as well? Because it just says here, you receive a big bang scratch ticket gold each time you defeat Dark Falz Vael. So if you can farm this with the triggers, like, holy cow, dude. Like, people would be able to go absolutely ballistic on these and get a ton of these tickets and gamble for those prizes, because like, this is nothing to sneeze at. 200 star gems and augment transfer pass and 10 million N Masquerader. These are crazy. That's actually crazy. But again, I'm trying to temper my expectations a little bit. I know for a fact that Sega's trying to hype us up over here by posting all like the highest value items over here. Maybe these items are all going to be like 0.01% drop rate. You know, it might turn out to be like that. And then the rest of the items in this scratch is like garbage. It might be like that. But, you know, maybe Sega grew a conscience and didn't do that. Who knows? We'll see. Now, other than that, they did give a sneak peek on the next month. So this is in March, where we actually get the PSO2 Global 5th Anniversary Campaign. That's so quick. We're getting a 5th Anniversary Campaign already. And yeah, it's going to give us a total of 400% more RDR, which is pretty awesome. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.